cool song. Alright with this. I think I'll add this to my liked. What's up, everybody? No. Oh, no, go back. Shit. I don't want to lose that. There it is. Alright, pause. I'm trying to find good music on this platform. Hi, guys. How we doing? Alright, I think that's good. Just leave that running. I gotta do the stream key for Instagram because that's just how we do here. Happy Friday, everybody. Good to be here. Good to be at the end of the freaking week already. Let's see. Michael Stryker, what's up? Resiquence, how are you? Let's see. Alright, awesome music. Yeah, that was pretty good. Pretty good. Alrighty, guys. Well, we're back. Happy Friday. I hope your guys' weeks was decent. I hope the return to work, if you had a break, has been alright. For me, it's been kind of slow, so that's been nice. But as you can see, I've been working on this thing for a little bit. So, we're going to continue working on this thing because I'm just in a groove with it right now. And it's definitely getting there. No idea what day it is. I imagine, Demuzu. I imagine. Travel like that screws you up. Like, when we went to Croatia, like, we got back and I was just like, wait, so it was like a Thursday. So we left on a Thursday. We got back on a Thursday. It was really weird. But, yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. Hello, everybody. Hello, Instagram. How you guys doing? Bevel Edge, what's up? How are you? Alright. I think everybody's here. I think we're ready to go. So, done a little bit of work on the tank. And I'm still kind of trying to figure out what else I want to do with it. I do like this kind of like design back here, but I didn't make the front this low, so leaning more towards one of these kind of like flat tops, but also still trying to figure out like what I want to add to it. I know I want to add some like larger vents to it, but I haven't really decided yet. I know I definitely for sure want to have one of these little camera units. I think this will be really fun to model. It'll also equally make me hate my life because I hate working with spheres. But yeah, lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff to do. So let's just get cracking. How's everybody doing? Everybody working on anything cool? How's your joining, bro? Yo, so after so many times. What's up, Ponytail Fantasy? How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. Time skipping finishes a post for ArtStation later on. If you want a break. Wait, skipping. Wait, time skipping. Oh, finished off that post for ArtStation later on. If you want a break, have to let me know. Would love some feedback. Yes, I do. If you want to post it or send it to me, we can do that like midstream or something. Be a good way to break it up. Druvy, hello. I hate sphere topology. This project has been like a real heavy focus on topology, so like it's clean, and I'm making sure it stays clean because that was the goal. This music is making me feel like I'm giving a weird epic speech, so let's change this up a bit here. Lo-fi. Sure. Lo-fi ocean waves? Ocean waves? Alright, cool. That works. I am good, though. Good, I'm glad. Let's go, Fusco. Hello, hi. Watching you all the way from India. Nice. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's morning for you, right? So good morning. I do have a new math teacher, and I'm getting that I am bored, I have nothing to do kind of burnout feeling because I used to be so overworked. I gotcha. Well, hopefully that doesn't stay around for too long. Alright, so I'm looking at this, and I'm not really liking this anymore. I'm not a huge fan of what I did here. So I think here's what I want to do. Uh-oh. Did I just freeze? Oh, okay, there we go. Whew. That stressed me out. What is happening? Hello, Maya? Okay. My PC just had like a heart attack. That's weird. Production level asset. Yes, it will be. In SOS, Spain is 3 a.m. Dang. Well, good evening. I guess that's morning, technically. Alright, so I'm going to redo this real quick. I think I am going to use this piece, though. So we're going to just kind of... This is why I like blocking. Because you block it out, you can change your block really easily. And then you can just adjust it and work with it. Grow with it. This isn't lo-fi. I asked for lo-fi. This is just weird. Oh, that's right. This is the shitload of like Christmas music. Let's try this. We'll try this one. Damn, 3 a.m. Go to sleep. No, they're hanging out. That's what they want to do. That's cool. Alright, so I'm going to fix this because this is just, I'm not really liking this. Just manipulate this for a few seconds here. And merge it. Oh, that's why it's not turning down. I was like, why is my music not going down? Alright. Well, I don't like that either. Just keep trying music until we find something that works. Sent you an old spa tank I made when I used to do Tinkercad. Let's see. Oh, okay, nice. Very cool. Never played with Tinkercad. That's neat, though. Nice. Resequence, the commands don't work on Instagram, unfortunately. I wish they did. It's Christmas music. Oh, man. All right. I'm really trying to love this, like, system, but I might have to change to, like, Artlist or something. Alright, so we're gonna just target weld this guy to that. Whoa. You guys will have to excuse me, I'm still getting over this cold, so still a little crappy voice-wise. Still not entirely sure if I'm gonna use this, but we'll see. Alright. So I feel better about that. I'm also trying to think, like, if I really want to do that way. Let's do this. That can be deleted, I believe. That can't be deleted. Let's see. Let's look at this. I just don't know what to do here. I don't know what I want to do with it. Very basic topo, not whatsoever. Does it even do like topology or anything like that? Or is Tinkercad pretty like, just like CAD based, like flat shapes? I have never played with it in my life. I don't think I ever plan to either, for being totally honest. I know it was good for people who do like 3D printing stuff. If it's even available anymore. I don't know if that was one that Autodesk killed off or not. Fun, easy just for basic stuff for 3D print. Okay, I got you. Yeah. I love 3D printing. Like, I print all my stuff. Not all my stuff, but like I print a lot of stuff that I make in Maya. And I print a lot of stuff that I don't make because sometimes I don't want to design everything. Alright, so let's go back out of isolation, take a look at this. Yeah, I didn't like that gap, but I do want to reshape this a bit. It's looking mean from the front, though. I was watching somebody model the other day, and they were doing like a production level asset kind of like this. And just seeing like their workflow made me change my workflow a little bit because they were doing some really cool stuff. What? Why can't I just have like normal lo-fi music? Jingle bells. Oh my god. How about you give me a lo-fi hip-hop playlist that doesn't have a crap ton of Christmas music in it? Yeah, there we go. I don't trust that this isn't Christmas music. Snowman? Alright, we'll try this. Good morning, Harish. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. Alright, so we're going to pull this up, because if you ever look at a tank, they usually kind of go up in the back, because it's like this whole kind of rotating like turret, right? So the last thing you want is like a flat surface rubbing against another one. So we'll set this up so we can actually kind of work with this. And I'm kind of appreciating that shape a little bit more, so I think I'll go with that. I am going to increase the thickness of this, but I want to carve out a section so this sits down below. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to go right there. And technically that works, but I need a little bit more geometry to kind of play with that. So we're going to do this. Pull that in. Pull that guy in. And let's just try to get this as like matched up as possible. It's okay that it'll have some negative space. I just don't want it to have a ton of it. Oops. Alright, cool. We'll call that good. So Shift I. Alright, so we want this to be kind of like a cup. So we're going to build it out as such. That's weird how that happened. It must be like slightly bent over. That's weird. That's okay though. I can just kind of twist it because it's hidden anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, we like cup tanks. Yes. What's up, Mr. Blazing Man? Let's see. Luis, I'm kind of popping between both of them. So one of the things I tend to do is I work on multiple projects at once. So I'll give myself a break from one, move on to another one. It's just kind of how I keep myself fresh and from burning out. So today we're working on a tank. Now I have trust issues with an app. Why? Technically you could end without the black part in the back. It holds ammo at the autoloader. If you can't tell, I'm a military guy. Well, I mean, that makes sense. I think what I'm gonna do, because I do want this to kind of be like a what do you call it, like a railgun. So I think that's what I'm gonna go for. Sort of a railgun-esque type deal. We need an extra loop in here though to kind of add that. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. That's cool. You're military though. That's awesome. Or are you just saying like you're like a military like vehicle person? You like looking at that stuff because that's cool too. All right. Barrel MIG steel tubes. I don't know what that means. I think it's on pause for superior tank. I'm chilling. Also would like to attest the cryptics teachings paired with one gone from my duty boss. I've regained my modeling knowledge due to his videos. I love that. Enthusiast. Okay, enthusiast. I gotcha. Never know. Just want to make sure, though. Yeah, I'm trying really hard not to go that in-depth with this one, but I might. I don't know. Like, part of me wants to. Part of me kind of wants to. Okay, so that's going to create a triangle right there, so we're going to avoid that at all costs. We already have one here, so let's go ahead and figure out what we're doing here. So part of the reason why that's the case is because there's nothing here to support that. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to throw an edge loop in here. That's not going to go all the way through, which is okay. Kind of don't need it to. Actually really need it to go. Oh, wait a minute. How did that get jacked up like that? I see. Okay. Doing any environmental stuff this year. Currently storyboarding for my animation, but city stuff requires so many assets. I have to do it a bit at a time or just get it all done with. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do any city stuff. I haven't really decided. Like, I was initially gonna sit down and like plan all of my projects for the year, but then I realized that I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to like give myself too many unnecessary like constraints to follow. So I think I'm just kind of winging it for the most part, in all honesty. So I might. This one's going to be probably, I'm thinking like a tundra environment. It's kind of what I want to look at. Can I correct this? Okay, so that's weird. Go away. So if I do that, it's going to loop up through. I need to change the way this links across here. So let's do... No, we need edge. I'm going to just pull that a little bit. Okay. So it should be the same sort of setup here. Oh, oops. Oh, jeez. Is that right? Wait a minute. What did I do wrong? I did something wrong here. What about yourself, Timuzu? Are you going to be doing any environmental stuff? I mean, yeah, I guess that works, technically. Not necessarily, but that's going to come back to bite me. So we'll pull up the tank now. Okay. So I want to kind of adjust that because I want that to be a little bit lower. So it's kind of going to be, it's going to have like a little dip back here, I'm thinking. I don't know, I haven't really decided what I want this to look like in totality. That might be kind of fun. Hey Kelsey, how are you? I can't draw traditionally to save my life, so my storyboards I'm submitting are rough renders. Kind of stuck making it all show development. What if I'm using the final anyway? Hopefully not too much weight. No, I mean, you know, that's a good idea too. Like, a lot of people who don't draw traditionally will just kit bash their storyboards together. I used to do that back in the day when I did storyboards. I hate storyboards, so I don't do them anymore. Unless I really have to. All right. So I want some ideas for this. I know, let's see. I'm gonna add an edge loop there. I know, I want to break it up. I don't want it to all be flat. Because this flat tank up here, like this part is just kind of boring to me. It doesn't really show too much, so I want to change that up a little bit. I really like the paneling on this one. be fun to do something kind of like that. Let's play with shape here. If everything goes well, I'll have this entire tank done by end of stream. Okay. I actually kind of like that. Ooh. Alright. I like the... yeah. Okay. So... I gotta decide what I want to do to it. You could try some active armor panels. Those are going to be there, they're just going to come later. Because they're going to be separate pieces that get thrown on there. Trying to do a 50-50 split between coursework and personal stuff this year. Have an idea for some retro hard surface sci-fi scenario I want to flesh out, so we'll probably tie everything personal to that. Learn to focus for once. That sounds like cool. That sounds like fun. Sounds like a good idea too. All right. Let's see. I don't like that song. All right. So one thing I know I did want to do is I want to continue this like armadillo shell type deal where like things kind of overlay. So I think I'm going to end up doing that here. I'm going to take this panel here and just pull it out. I'm going to pull this back in. I might do like a contest in Discord to name this thing because I don't know what I'm going to call it. Figure that might be kind of fun. Let's see. I'm great. I know it's probably TMI, but in 4 days of not being a nursing mom, so I'm enjoying spontaneous White Claws. Nice. Well, congrats. That's awesome. That's cool. How is the little one doing? There we go. That makes us like look kind of cohesive, which is cool. Let's see. This might be a good spot to put a vent too. Thinking anyway, maybe. You earning any money as a 3D artist? Sometimes. Just depends. What's my last name? If you could find it, you can have it. I tend to not broadcast it, but it's technically on every one of my streams. Last night was this first night I know freaking out, hence the celebration, but I've been weaning, so it was like total cold turkey. I gotcha. That's cool. That's awesome. I'm happy for you. Oh, I was suggesting for my tank. Oh. I don't want to, yeah, I don't want to throw my last name on my tank. That would be weird. Every tank pretty much has the last name of General? Really? Even the, what's the current one that we use? What the hell's the name of that tank? It's a cool tank. I always forget the name of it, though. The Abrams. Patton Abrams. Oh, Sherman. Oh. Interesting. I didn't know that. That's a cool fun fact. Thank you. It's such a relief. I'm sad, but good. I imagine it's one of those things where it's like, oh my god, they're growing up, but at the same time, you're like, I can drink again, so that's cool. Try organic modeling. It's way more fun for ZBrush. I am learning organic modeling in ZBrush currently. I have never been an organics artist, so it's a big change for me. What am I doing here? Here we go. I'm going to divide this guy. Do the same thing here. Do the same thing here. Just going to fix this topo here because it's ugly. Worry about that later. Okay. This will be our vent. You got anything special going on this month, Kelsey, or are you guys just kind of chilling now that the holidays are over? I watched, what did I watch last night? Civil War? That was an interesting movie. Had this really cool scene, though, where they were all fighting in between a bunch of buildings, and they had this Apache come into the, like, right in between the buildings and just start, like, launching rockets into buildings. It was really cool. It was really well done. Kind of a horrifying movie, but really well done. Okay. Let's kind of level some of this out here. Found your last name. It's there. It could work. I don't know if it could. I don't know. How are you planning your organic learning? Watching some videos or making stuff? So I'm reading Anatomy for Sculptors. I was going off of a tutorial series I bought off of Flip Normals. I actually bought it as part of the Humble bundle, but I got kind of frustrated with it because it was really slow. So I just kind of dove into it, and working with a couple of my friends in the community who are organic sculptors, who have been helping me kind of refine my skills. Entity 01, that's a neat one. That might be kind of cool. I kind of want this, like, almost to meet up with that, but, like, I don't know, hold on. Did I pull that too far? Yeah, I did. What is this weird music? Oh, Epidemic, you're killing me. Maybe I need to go back to Epic Music or something. Let's see. Trailer music, maybe? I like trailer music. Oh, yeah, here we go, trailer music. Colossal trailer music. All right, is this a playlist? All right, let's do it. Sure. Okay, I dig it. Gotta have the epic music while you're modeling a tank. Why not? So you selected. How far can I push that? Just a little bit. Okay. So I can't really push that much further. But I can at least pull that a little bit more out. What did you select? Okay. That's pretty... I like the way this is looking. This is going to be a fun project. The original image that inspired me to do this project was actually this one, which is why I'm going to do it in like a tundra setting. Where to put that? I think it's in my concept library. So these are all projects I'd like to do at some point. Especially this one. This one looks really cool. And I did this one, so that one's done. This picture. I love that picture. I'm pretty sure this is from Star Citizen, but I'm not 100% sure. But I love the idea of having like the Aurora Borealis in the background and like snowfall and stuff, so I think that's going to be pretty close to what I do. I liked the mood of this more so than like the design of it. I had a feeling. A feeling on what? Alright, so this needs to mesh together. And currently it does not. So let's fix that. You should animate a little person smoking on the side of the tank. Maybe, if I want to go that far with it. I don't know if I want to go that far with it. That's a lot of extra work. Trying to make sure all my little panel gaps line up pretty well, because I don't want any like obscene gaps showing through. I want it to look like one like cohesive armored piece. Yes. Oops. That's not what I wanted. Hold on a second, guys. All right. So let's see here. Wondering if I want to do that, because I've got this like ricochet wall here. I could technically continue that piece into this piece. Let's see. See how that looks if I do that. Without worrying too much about topology yet. Let's turn on surface slide. We're going to make this a little bit smaller. Okay. Alright, so let's match that up. I always like watching like industry people do hard surface modeling. It's really hard to find some that do it. And so I was watching, who was I watching the other day? Bet you I could find him on my YouTube. It's been showing up every single day. Oh yeah, Andrew Hodgson. And I don't know, his workflow is really cool. I liked watching the way he just kind of doesn't care about having things in multiple pieces, and maybe that's the way it is, I don't really know. But considering who he works for, I would assume that's standard. But he's a really good guy to watch. Been learning a lot off of him. Okay. So that's cool. Getting some pretty good shape there. No practical use, but it's just art weight. Let's see. I don't think a ricochet wall is going to do anything for your sense when your gun is so exposed. Well, yeah, no, true. But, you know. That's where creative freedom comes in. Alright. So I like the way that still has that little gap there. It looks purposeful. So honestly, as far as the turret goes, I might actually kind of end that there and just start modeling the detailed pieces that I want to model. Do I want to do that? Let's think about it. That needs to be fixed because that's not going to work. So that's fine because that fleshes up. Man, that fleshed up really well. This whole part actually really did. So let's go ahead and look at this and start doing our supporting and topology work. I'll do my initial kind of looping. And then we'll see what we need to add to kind of refine everything and clean everything up. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's just awful. Okay, that's okay. So, good there. Got too much skewing there, so we'll fix that. Hey, hope you're having a good evening. Hey, Sarah Clifton, how are you? I don't know why, well, it's your username, that's why I say it, but hi, Sarah, how are you? Finally finished my engine plume for my spacecraft. Let me see. Where'd you put it? Oh, okay. Nice. Very cool. I feel like you're getting the hang of Blender pretty quick. That's awesome. You seem like you're learning pretty fast. I'm glad you're doing good. Hope you had a good holiday. Alright, so we're going to come through and clean up a lot of this, but right now I'm just trying to figure out where I need my supports. I know for sure there. This needs a little bit. Where is that going? Oh, okay. Uh-huh. Okay. So that's one of those weird situations where I'm going to have to kind of pull that. That's okay. Actually, might not have to because you're probably not going to ever see that, but it's better. Let's see. So you were looking at some of your followers' portfolios and giving advices in some of your previous streams. Would you do it again sometimes? Yeah, I'm always open to if you want me to, like during a live stream. I haven't done like a dedicated one just yet, but if you guys ever want me to, I'm more than welcome to. It was a nice and chill holiday. That's good. That's always good. Are you adding holding edges so you can smooth and subdivide later, or is it not needed because it's hard surface? So hard surface is still subdivided. I think that's kind of a common misconception. You're still going to want to subdivide your hard surface. The supporting edges are for that purpose, and it will be subdivided, and then we're going to go through and refine a lot of these. So if you look at the kind of like what I've done so far, so all of this is still, you know, subdivided and just smoothed right now. But in general, I just add all my supporting loops and get it ready for that. That way I can both save the original model as a proxy for animating if I ever want to use it, and then I can also use the high poly for the final renders. Nice, use the Jet 2. Nice. Oh, that's the one that you posted, right? I'm going to save the scene. V03. Trying to get in the habit of incremental saving again. I stopped doing it for a while, and I need to again. So let's see. So we'll smooth that. That's still busted up here. We're gonna remove a lot of this, topology here, so don't worry about that. Let's see. I just like to get a feel of like where I am. That's starting to look pretty solid, I think. Yeah. So it's kind of okay. I like that side profile. That's looking really nice. I didn't even intend for that. It's only 7:45 and I'm just drinking coffee. I don't have a problem with caffeine. All right. Let's start cleaning. Okay, so I know already this is an issue. So I'm going to trace this out, see where this is actually coming from. So this loops around there, which is not great. I don't like that. So I want to fix that first and foremost. Because the reality is that should technically, let's see, where's that end? So that's going up, over, technically, this should flow up through here. But, let's see, let me look at this. I'd really rather it just kind of like fold across. Here in London, UK, nice. It must be, it's probably pretty late for you, right? Like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock? What time is it in London? Let's find out. London time. 2:46. Yeah, it's pretty late for you. Well, good evening. All right. So generally, I would want that kind of flying across this. I don't think that's necessarily going to work. No, we can make it work. Hold on. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go all the way to, let's see. Let me just deselect this stuff. This is one of the fun things, is like tracing where these went. Okay, so that should be fine. So if I control delete that, I lose that support, but I've still got that edge up here. So we're going to work this in a little bit differently. And we're going to work it across. And then we'll come back to this little triangle here that we just created. Why no work? Okay, let's get it up here real quick. So technically that should wrap around and through the model, which is exactly what I'm going for here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go to here, go to here, go to here. Sometimes you've got to spend some time rerouting your topology, especially if you go through and do like the way I do it, which is like going through and actually edge loop supporting first and then figuring out your topology afterwards. It's probably not the fastest workflow in the world, but it's the one that I vibe with the most, so I just end up doing it that way. If you guys are watching on YouTube, please make sure you like the stream, because it does help. Come on. Just as your friendly reminder. Okay, if you guys didn't see it, I finally uploaded a video on topology today. I'm going to be doing a whole series on topology. So, whether you use Blender, Maya, whatever, those videos will be super helpful for you. What do you usually do when your edge loops won't close for no reason? I've never had one not close. Are you talking like when you drag them across a model or something like that, and then you've got like a gap? Because when I have that issue, I'll just go back and cut it. Instead of trying to troubleshoot it. Sometimes I've found that like connections between faces get corrupted for some reason. And in that case, I'll just delete the faces and rebuild them real quick. But that's a pretty rare one that I have to deal with. All right, so how do I want to get rid of this triangle? First off, I need to... Let's see, I gotta think about this. Because technically I need some sort of support ring coming through here. But I want that ring to be... Let's see. Sometimes smoothing it helps look at it. Nice little end gun. Let's see here. So that's fine. This one, this edge loop, honestly, might be able to go. Maybe? Yeah. So I think really what I want to do... Oh, you know what? Here. Alright, so we're going to go vertex loop. Okay, that gets rid of that, fixes that issue. And then this guy will just kind of pull in a little bit. We're going to slowly just rebuild this topology over here. That's honestly probably a lot better. Yeah, it is. Okay. So, looks bad, but it's actually good because it's still quads. I think, is that 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah. Like sometimes it'll have an X over it. Oh, I don't run into that too often. Like when you're loop cutting? Yeah, I've never had that happen. Come to think of it. I don't know what you would do in that case because I've never run into it. Let me see, hold on. My loop cut shows red X. Problems with edge loops. It's not working. Oh, this person posted a video. Is this? Let's see if this is the issue that you're talking about. No. That is somebody who just opened Maya for the first time and has no idea what they're doing. Which is okay, that happens. That's weird. Yeah, I've never seen that, Sarah. I'll have to, if I ever run into it, I'll have to like DM you and let you know how I fixed it. It might be because I loop cut with the multi-cut tool. Yeah, I'm trying to do both. I tend to, like, for my initial loop cuts, I'll do, like, just the base, like, insert edge loop tool. But I'm starting to kind of use the cut tool a lot more, which I didn't use it as much before. And now I'm, like, obsessed with it, so that's fun for me. But maybe that might be it. Let's see. So this guy we're going to turn into a little quad corner here. This is a really nice way of saving some geometry. If you guys are ever trying to figure out like how you can reduce your model. You can see that we just deleted 2 edge loops, but we kind of kept this geo and it stayed square. So that's a nice little topology trick for you. It's also my obsession. I'm starting to get to that point with it, especially now. It's weird, right? Like, I have spent so many years trying to figure out topology. And I can honestly say in like the last month, it finally clicked. And I hate that it took that long, but I'm happy that it finally clicked. And now that it clicked, I love the multi-cut tool. I guess that's just one of those things. Okay, so we still got to support that. So let's see what this wants to do. So if I do it that way, it's going to want to go through the model, which is fine. We'll just do it lower because I just want to reduce this a little bit. I don't really care to like... keep that. Hello, what did I miss? Oh. Haven't had the chance to watch your topology video yet. I'm excited to watch it. I gave it a like. Nice. It's good. I'm gonna do a bunch of like different scenarios with it because I didn't want to do like a 2-hour long video of just like all the different ways you could do topology because I know that's what kind of like screwed me up. So I want to find better ways to teach that, and I think doing them in like bite-sized chunks like that's going to be a better idea. ZBrush has been so satisfying for topo exercises. I do like ZBrush's topology stuff. Like I know generally, like if you're using it in the industry, you're not really supposed to use like their retopo stuff, but like it is really nice. It does just work. It doesn't really work for like organics, but it does just kind of work. All right, so that's good. So that kind of cleaned that up a little bit. just kind of looking for places I can just continue working with this. So show, isolate. Everything's still meshing up pretty well. Can't really do a whole lot there. What do these do? Okay, so this is another area that I could focus on cleaning up. Let's do this. So what does that run through? So if I do an edge loop, blah, 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 that'll go all the way through the body. Okay. Chanting witches. Thank you, Epidemic Sound. Cognitive waves? What is this, dude? This music is terrible. Some people are crazy with the Z modeler and ZBrush. Some people do. I don't know if I'm ever going to use hard surface in ZBrush. I don't know. Tumuzu's like tempting me though. Hard surface curve stuff, it's been a dream. Z modeler, etc. Yeah, I bet. I bet for curve stuff. We'll see. When I do the sphere camera for this thing, that weird robo eye thing, if I hate my life enough, I might do it in ZBrush. I think how I want to do this, because technically, so really what I want to do, make that a corner piece, and then cut that. So we're going to do our initial cut here, which allows me now to get rid of this edge loop. Bye-bye, don't need you, don't want you. And if I do that, that's still preserved, so we'll just multi-cut this across. I never got the hang of it. Yeah, I'm still trying with ZBrush. Oh, I'm so excited. I got my, where is it? I got my art book in, one of my art books in, that I bought from Dragons and Whales. And the creature, which if you guys haven't seen it, this guy right here is what I'm going to be making in ZBrush. It's what I've been working on in ZBrush. And I thought I was doing really good until I sent it to my buddy, and I was like, ah, cool, I'm doing terrible. But it's all good. I can't not like feed my inner child and not make dinosaurs, because that's what I wanted to do growing up. I wanted to be a paleontologist growing up, but I settled for movie dinosaurs. So I have to make some sort of dinosaur at some point. And I started with that. You should totally cold mill it out in like 20 minutes. I don't know if I could do that. Oh, hi. What the hell is this little fresh hell? Go away. That'll be fun to figure out later. Okay. It says colossal trailer music, but it's not very colossal. This is all ambient, drone ambient. Hashtag trailer music? Nope. Try this. Let's see. Okay. So again, looking for issues. This is a little hidden issue because that should not be there. What is that and why is it there? So that edge loop. Is that the one I added? No, that's different. No, that is the one I just added. What? Wait a minute. Or is that the one I just added? No, it was this one. How did that actually... Oh, I'm confused. Hold on a second. No, that's the one. Okay, so that's one that we just carried through. Alright. Well, I don't like this. This shouldn't be here. Let's see. Mahiraj, hello, how are you? He's finding all the things wrong with his model stage. Oh no, this is a normal stage for me. Totally normal. I'm actually gonna just delete that, call it good. Because it doesn't need to be there anyway. I don't think that even managed to damage the topology. It didn't, so we're good there. I'm not hyper concerned with this because you're never gonna see that. That's gonna be interesting though. Alright, so we do have a little bit of an issue there. So mesh tools, insert edge loop. So we're gonna do right there. Close, nope. Alright, so same kind of thing here. We have this corner piece that could... That's actually kind of important. Think about this. Why is this converging across? What are you for? Did I just make that? No, it's useless. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna multi-cut. Oop. Oh no. Redo. Control delete. Alright, so we'll go vertex. We're gonna drag to that point. Drag to that point. Initially, this is gonna act really weird. Wait a minute. Yeah. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's what I wanted. No. Why am I thinking about this wrong? Mahiraj, can I get feedback on my portfolio? Absolutely, yeah. Just send a link, and as long as you're cool with me opening it up on stream, I'll take a look at it. I think I see the issue here. So that can go. I think all right. All right, you sent it. Cool. Let's take a look. And to Muzu, if you want to, we're at about the midpoint, so I could take a look at your stuff or however you want to copy. However you want to handle that one. That's the wrong browser. Hold on a second. Oh, I just copied the wrong thing. Copy. All right, so this is Maharaj. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but is it Mahendra Varma? I hope I'm saying that right. Wait, did I open that in the wrong window? I did. Damn it. Wait, 1 second. Control V. Let's go. Okay, here we go. All right, so it looks like you've done a lot of prop modeling, so that's pretty cool. You got Cloud Sword. All right. Nice. Let's see. So with something like this, you've got some really good presentation here. I like that you're just kind of focusing on this. Your shading on the blade is a little bit weird. With blades, it's kind of tough. So blades are kind of one of those things. If you look at them under a microscope, you can kind of see like scratches. And then sometimes if you look at a blade like head on, like one that's going to be this thick, you'll see the grinding marks. Those will kind of help break up that shape a little bit. So something to look at maybe in the future is to add some like grinding marks alongside that. But your topology looks pretty good. I can't see too much into this, but from what I could see, it looks like it's pretty solid. So that's awesome. This is your most recent piece is a Jeep Wrangler. All right, we love that. Oh no, it's a Jeep. Oh, what the hell is that? The Gladiator. Okay. Is this still, this looks like it might still be like a work in progress one, but that's looking pretty good. One thing that is a little concerning here, look at your panels. So when you're working with auto panels, they eventually all kind of curve into each other. You can see how yours kind of come to like a flat point. So you want to change that and kind of curve them together. That's one thing that'll show up a lot on 3D cars, is that people won't look at the panel lines and figure out how the panel lines actually merge together. So take a look at those, and then that'll help you out a lot. But this model's looking pretty solid so far. I would take a look at the hardtop and the front windshield. Kind of just the same issues there, some panel gap issues. But otherwise, like, that's coming together really nice. If this is a finished project, this might not be one you would want to include in your portfolio because it doesn't look done yet. But that's something you can totally look at. Let's see, a mace, okay. Gotcha. This one, presentation-wise, it's kind of lacking. I really like the kind of pose you did with the cloud sword, so maybe something with this, just kind of set up a little environment for it or something like that to really like sell the model. Because right now, looking at this, it looks a little like simplistic. Not that the model is simplistic, but like the render setup itself looks a little simplistic. Just be careful with that. I like that you're still showing your wireframes and everything like that. Make sure too to show like your UVs and show things like your texture layouts. Like, don't be afraid to show your process, because that's what people want to see. That's really important. Let's see. Got like a stylized cottage. Okay. Okay, so this was like a low poly asset. That's cool. Nice, nice. Yeah, I like your presentation. You're doing I see what you're doing. You're doing kind of like the curved background, so that does help. Yeah, your portfolio is pretty solid. I would just say some things to look at. Texturing seems to be something you need to kind of work on a little bit. Looking at this like canister, that label is way too big. I would scale something like that down. And then looking at things like your edgeware, it looks like you just kind of applied an edgeware map instead of like really like dirtying it up and kind of tearing it apart. So texturing might be one thing that you want to look at, but otherwise, like, your portfolio is coming together really nicely. Ooh, this is nice. Okay. So you did really well here with like the breakups. Still a little bit too much edgeware, but you've got this like the kind of breaks in between where you can still see those pieces of paint coming through. So this is a really nice model. Yeah, I like what you did here. Your topology looks really good, really solid. The only thing I would recommend, it's kind of a nitpicky thing, but it's something that some people kind of get upset with, is these islands in the future, like these pinpoints where all of your points on the cylinder converge. Quad those out. That's kind of important. It does kind of come down to personal preference, but I always suggest people quad those out. But yeah, no, I mean, your portfolio looks like it's coming along really well. I think really your next big challenge is going to be kind of playing with like presentation a little bit, with like vehicles and stuff like that. So if I search like vehicle, if I can spell vehicle properly. So you can always tell with like vehicles and stuff, like, let's see if I can find a good example. Some of these examples that came up are pretty bad. Yeah, I guess people do gray backgrounds for vehicles, so that's probably okay. But with like props and stuff, I would definitely try to do like laying on a cloth or laying on some dirt or something to kind of contrast with the background a little bit to show the prop off a little bit more. But otherwise, you got a really good start. Let's see. I hate clean metal shading. Yeah, it's just one of those things that some people are still kind of learning and getting used to. I'm also making a robot now. Okay, I gotcha. Hi, how can I request feedback on my work? Just post your link in chat and I'll take a look at it. It is only model, no textures. I made a quick portfolio for a master's degree that the school asked me for. Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and post your link and I can take a look at it. That's rude, it didn't work. Error. Why didn't it work? That's weird. Hi, Stigma. Sebas Rigo. Can you tell us your workflow in general? Yeah, I mean, basically I follow pretty much what you would consider like a standardized workflow, so just giving you an example here on what I'm working on. So I'll block out my model first. I'll just kind of find the basic shape that I want to work with. And then from there, I'll start refining on parts. So basically I work in like stages. So I'll do my block out. I'll do my initial refinement. I'll do a secondary refinement and detail adding for like larger details. And then I'll do a final like minor detail adding. That's generally how I work. And then I'll pull everything into Rhizome, UV it, pull it in the Substance Painter, texture it, pull it back into Maya, and render it. Thanks, sir. I note your points and what work. Awesome. I'm glad that helped you. And then I see yours can sec off. Hope I'm saying that right. What is this music right now? Oh my god. The Man with No Eyes. That sounds cool. Harish, editography. Any idea to conduct 3D challenges weekly prompt? I think I will eventually in the Discord. That might be something I want to do this year. So if that is something we end up doing, make sure you're in the Discord because that's a good place to be. All right. All right. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Oh, Diego. Okay. I can read Diego. Canseco. Okay, I see. Ooh, that's cool. I like the design on that. All right, I like your presentation. Videos like this work really well, guys. Like you can show off your stuff, your wireframes, your textures, whatever, with these like videos where you pan across, and that helps a lot. I really do I like the design of this. It looks like your topology is pretty solid. Not seeing anything that stands out too crazily to me. One thing I would look at though, you've got a lot of these like divided shots, so the only like real initial view of your asset that we get is that first like second of the video. I would for sure at the top of this put like a final render just to show it off. It'll just kind of help with your portfolio kind of like layout. This is cool. I think the only thing that's kind of like driving me nuts here is like this is kind of strange, a little light. So that might be a shot that I would remove from this just because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense as to why that's there. But let's see. Yeah, I think overall your design is really cool. Again, this like splitting of things, I wouldn't do this for every image. I would have just a dedicated wireframe image that people can see, or a rotational. And then the other thing I would take a look at now is like when you start looking at texturing, look at like your metalware, things like that. Otherwise, this is really cool. I like this. It looks like you probably did just like base materials for now, which is totally fine. But texturing should be your next kind of step with that one. Sci-fi barrel drum. Oh, that's cool. All right. So same kind of notes here with the split stuff. Your topology looks great. Everything looks pretty clean. Doesn't look like you have any N-gons or anything like that. There's a little bit of like weird smoothing going on here that maybe you could take a look at, but otherwise like you have a pretty solid start here. Like you said, it's just a couple of assets for your final portfolio, but your topology looks good. Your presentation is almost there. I would say just take it a step further, get rid of some of these like weird split shots, show the asset off in a couple images, show one wireframe, show one with texture, just kind of find different ways to do that. And if you don't know what that looks like, here, I'll pull up mine real quick. So if you go to my art station, I'll go to my ship. So I've got just my like regular ship renders, my rotational, and then my isolateds. And then I have my UV, my clay. I don't think I did a wireframe on this one because I was tired of rendering, but generally you want to have at least one image just showcasing that. I don't tend to do the split things. A lot of people tend to not do the split things just because it kind of like degrades the view on your portfolio. So just keep that in mind. Almost nailed it. Yeah, you're doing good. You have a really good start. Hopefully your teachers thought the same. Let's see. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. I'm gonna butcher your name too. Is it Ramuk? Ramuk, you just kind of posted a link. Do you want me to look at your portfolio, or are you just trying to share it? I also finish my Arkin rifle. Let me see. See what this is. I'm not gonna check the other chat. Hold on a second, guys. Oh, the arcane rifle. Oh, okay. Nice. Very cool. So, some things here. If this is what you're looking for. Hopefully you're asking for critiques, because I assume that's why you put it in the chat. This background, very messy. I would honestly remove this background for a solid color before I put that there. Just because you lose all of your like view on this object, and you can almost like not tell what it is. It looks like your normal map is fine. I can't really tell what's going on here. You've got a lot of weird like distortions here, so that's kind of strange. I would probably take a look at that, but otherwise it looks like you're doing pretty good so far. So did you use a height map on this? I can't really tell. Yeah, overall the model is pretty solid. I assume this is for like low poly stuff. Okay, I like that you showed your UV and your wireframe and stuff. Let's see. The thing that I'm noticing here the most is you probably want to look at texturing, because your textures almost feel like kind of like low resolution. It could be partly your lighting. The lighting is a little dull, but that's some stuff I'd play with is lighting. I would probably adjust these, because if you ever look at a bullet, there's a copper tip. Sometimes there's a little steel tip at the top. There's usually a little primer at the bottom. Some things to really look at when you're building this stuff out is to make sure you're focusing on the little details and not just trying to throw stuff into the project just to make it look cool. You want to make sure that if it's going to be in there, it serves a purpose. So, for instance, if I pull up my minigun here, I'll show you what that kind of looks like. Let's see. So if you look at the minigun here, you can see down here, I've got the different bullets in here, but these bullets are modeled to like what they would look like. So when you're adding in these little details, you want to make sure that you're pushing them all the way instead of just kind of throwing a brass material on them and calling it good. I don't know. Can you zoom in on our station? Yeah, I guess you kind of can. A little bit, but you can see that's generally what you'd want your bullets to look like. So something like that. But otherwise, I mean, good job so far. Just a couple of adjustments I would say to take a look at. Thank you so much. I'll be working on everything you told me. Love your work. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Critique it. Okay. All right. So let me copy this real quick. I need to catch up on the other chat real quick, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring you. Where is it? Okay. Cool. Blender's not liking my textures. Why not? I realize why. The face count is... I mean, that's not terrible. That's pretty high probably for what you're doing, but that's pretty high. Oh, and not to mention it was one object. Yeah, that's pretty high for one object. Alright, so let's look at you. And skip this weird Christmas music. Anything good? That's fine. Alright. Control B. Okay. Alright. So we've got... Is it Rajdeep? Rajdeep? I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Okay, so it looks like you do like game assets in Unreal. Okay. So my V-Ray architecture. Okay. So this looks like some like early architecture work. All right. CGI VFX. Oh, okay. This was like a composite you did. Okay. I see what you did. So what was the original plate like? All right, that's cool. Very cool. All right, so one thing I'm gonna mention. What do you list yourself as? Let's see here. Oh, I hate how it does that. 3D artist. Okay. So if you're going to be including stuff like architectural visualization, CGI VFX stuff, you want to probably list yourself as a generalist if that's what you're going for. That's going to be kind of important because you don't want to kind of give like the wrong idea. But let's see. So you got these characters. Looks like this was like some animation stuff. Okay. Okay, so you have like a whole animation section. This is cool. I like that you did this. And I think you did the same thing here. Yeah, so you kind of split it up. So I see what you're doing there. If you do continue doing that, I think there's a way to do like folders. I would label them that way, or like put them off in their own separate folders. Okay, character's looking good. Nice little low poly character. Okay, product modeling. Nice, this watch looks really nice. Okay, nice little animated kind of advertisement. Okay, so something like this, be careful because it looks like your normal is kind of outdoing itself almost. It's like really extreme in these areas. So like I know it's supposed to look like kind of like folded leather, but in this case you might want to dial that back a little bit. Either your gloss map is acting a little funky or something, but it's making that look kind of fake. So that's just something to keep in mind there. Otherwise, this watch looks fantastic. You did a really good job on the watch. Let's see. Marmoset Tool Bag 4. Laputa. This is from that one movie that I always forget the name of. Okay. Nice. So, looks like this might have been like one of your first bouts of texturing. So, you got a kind of a glaring issue here. So, it looks like these were like either separated or your UV was split. When it comes to objects like this, if you are trying to UV this and then you take it and unfold it and then split those pieces apart, you're going to get seams like you're seeing there. So when you pull that in the Substance Painter and you bake it, it's going to treat that as separate geometry, and it's going to give you these weird like distorted edgewares when you use edgeware maps. So be careful with stuff like that. Happened up here with the head too. So when you're UVing, you need to find a way to do this with minimal seams. So with something like this, what I would honestly probably do is I would split it here and split it here and just have one seam up the side that you can hide and work with. That way you don't have like 8 of them. Let's see. But otherwise, that looks like it was a cool project. So you rigged it too. All right, nice. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what your UV looked like on this one. Let's see. Mitsubishi A5M. Okay, this is looking pretty cool. Nice. I don't know if they looked like that, but your wings look, they're a little square. And again, with your normal maps here, you got to be careful with your normals. You don't want to drive them too hard because if they're like maxed out, you're going to notice that they're fake. So you want to be careful with those. But topology looks real nice. Looks pretty clean. Your presentation renders are really cool. I like those. I like this one with the sky. The lighting doesn't necessarily match too much with it though. So I'd be a little bit careful there. Who just followed? Hey, thank you so much for the follow, DJ Jackson Art. Appreciate that. Yeah, just be careful with stuff like this, because like generally with aircraft, the front of the wings are not going to be flat like that because it's not how an airplane works. It needs the wind to split across the wing. So, but otherwise, like your topology looks really good. That's looking fine. Looks like you're getting into some sculpting stuff. This is a piece I probably wouldn't necessarily include in your portfolio if I'm being totally honest, because it looks like this was just like a practice type deal. But yeah, you seem to be kind of split off in a lot of different paths, which isn't bad if you're going for a generalist like type idea. But you want to be careful with that because your portfolio kind of just seems all over the place right now. So like this real-time interior design, I'd probably lump this with the architectural stuff, because it's, you know, it's not bad stuff. It's just at the same time you're trying to sell yourself as an artist. So when you go to apply for a job, like what are you applying for? So if you want to go for like an environment artist, you should have more environment art in your portfolio than you do say props. But your stuff looks really nice. It looks like you're really improving on your texturing and everything like that. Looks like you got more control over your normal on this one. This is a really nice little asset. This was a low poly asset too, so that's cool. Yeah, you did a really good job of hiding the low polyness of this, so that's cool. But yeah, no, I mean your portfolio is good. It's just it's a little mixed up. So you got to kind of narrow that down or label yourself as a generalist if that's what you're going for. Okay, I'm sure I missed a bunch of chats. Let's see. Yes, sir, you're saying it correctly. Okay, good. Please check all my portfolio and tell me, sir. Oh, okay, you wanted me to check your whole portfolio. Gotcha. Do I still have it up? I don't think I still have it up. Let's see if I can find it again. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Let me see if I can find it again. I might need you to send it again. Oh, no, found it. I hate that, like, I select this and Instagram's like, you want to report this? No, I just want to copy it. Let's see here. Paste. Yeah, I mean, thank you guys for sending your portfolios in. I totally enjoyed doing this, so. Let's see. All right, so this looks like another low poly asset, it kind of looks like. Yeah, so this was a low poly asset. So, topology-wise, this one's kind of jacked up. So, and that's not to be mean, it's just this is something you really want to pay attention to. So, you do not need this many edge loops to support this circle. There is no need for that. You can honestly remove a lot of that. When you're talking about doing like circles like that, you really don't need a lot. So, I'll show you here. Or I'll try to show you here. So I could reduce this thing to like, we'll do like 6. We'll do more than 6. So we'll do 8. If I smooth that, you can see how it smooths out to a pretty round object. So when it comes to doing stuff like that, you don't need to have that much in there because all you're doing is creating a lot of issues for you when you go to UV it and a lot of issues for you when you're trying to like use it for animation or anything like that. So be careful with stuff like this because the rest of your model flows together pretty well. It's this dense part right here that's gonna be a red flag for a lot of like recruiters. So that's something that I would probably go back and fix and then re-add it to your portfolio. Texturing is a little bit rough. It does need a little bit of work with texturing. This is probably like one of your first assets. That's okay. Let's see here. Let me check chat real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's see. Join the Discord if you want more aviation tips. That's true. We have a lot of people in our Discord who like doing planes and stuff, so. Okay, so this was like an environment. Alright, let's see. So it seems like this might have been like a low poly exercise, which is cool. Texturing wise, a little rough, but again, it seems like you're still pretty fresh at this. I like that you're playing with some God rays to get some like environmental lighting in there, get some like mood lighting in there, so that's really cool. But overall, your environment fog in this is really washing your scene out. So environment fog is one of those things you have to be careful with, because if you add too much of it, you're going to wash your scene out and you're not going to be able to see anything, or it's going to look just really like dull and just kind of meh. So that's something to be careful with. But overall, it looks like you're still kind of working on this stuff, so that's good. This looks like a nice asset. Yeah, this is really nice. Again, texturing leaves a little bit to be desired, but that's okay. Like, you're still learning. I like that you kind of created this little environment for this. And it looks pretty cohesive. I assume you use these from some sort of like tree pack, so that's cool. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Texturing, final touch-ups. Okay. Yeah, so you're on the right path. Your presentation is good. You know, you're getting there, you're figuring that stuff out. Some things I would start to include your UVs, show your UVs what they look like. You've got your wireframes, that's good. Wireframes like this generally aren't as accepted, so start learning how to render out your wireframes. Because that'll help you out a lot more. I think, do I have anything in mind that was a wireframe? Let me see if I did. Oh, never mind. I don't think I have any in mind. But, yeah, if you're going to show your wireframe, Abe Liel has a really good tutorial on setting up wireframe renders. and making them look really cool and like really pretty. So that's something you can look at too. That's a good person. But those are things I would take a look at. Thank you so much. Let's see. Ticket, please. Cool, 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 cool. Let me see. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Thank you very much. You're welcome. This is my first model. Okay, yeah, no problem. No problem. Close that out. Let's see. I'm still working on my portfolio, but I would like to take a look at it. Planning to rework all my textures, so some advice. Okay. Lots of people wanting to do portfolios today. That's cool. I'm all for it. Okay. Ah, I recognize that guy. All right. Let's see. Alexander. Okay. Your texturing here is not bad. It's good. It's just that presentation-wise, you don't have anything else, so you just have this render. So that's one of those things I would take a look at with your portfolio. Make sure you can add some of those like supporting renders, so you can really showcase like the work that you did. Because you know, in the end, you put a lot of work in this stuff. You want to show it off. So that's one critique there. Yeah, honestly, your texturing's not bad. You can definitely tell that's not like, it's almost kind of blurry. So one thing you can do to fix this issue here, you see how you've got this like, okay, click on it. Yeah, so you can see how it's kind of like blurring because you've got this like edge distortion. So one thing that I usually like to do is I'll use like a hard brush to kind of cut that out instead of using like a textured brush. You'll use a harder brush, kind of just jaggedly cut that out, and then use a sharpen mask over on the paint, and that'll make it look like a chip that's actually hovering above the surface, so like it was applied afterwards. But otherwise, your texturing is on the right path for sure. Like you've got some nice grunge detail in here. That's looking pretty nice. And this guy looks pretty good. This is definitely your best piece, your strongest piece so far, so that's cool. One thing I would do here, your renders are a little far away, so don't be afraid to like get up close and like show some detail. Even if your textures aren't like super high resolution, you could tell there's a lot of detail in here you could show off. Again, with this guy, one thing I would look at is just show your wireframe, show your UV, stuff like that. Don't be afraid to show your work, because that's what people want to see, that you can actually do the work. But you know, you've got a really good start. You seem to have a pretty good understanding of like texturing, and that's really important. All right. Let's see. Timuzu, are you still there? Did you want me to look at your skull, or how did you want to do that? If not, I'll just go back to modeling my tank. My link should be up past Michael somewhere. Okay. Where are you at? Ah. There you are. Alright. Timuzu. Nice. I really love how this is coming out so far. Alright, cool. So you're doing the same thing that you do, like your renders, I don't know what it is you're doing, but they look really like you just took a camera and like stuck it in the software, because they look really clean with your depth of field. Your texturing's looking really solid. I know this is kind of like one of your first bouts of ZBrush. You put a fingerprint there. God, your detail kills me sometimes, man. Renders are good. I think the only thing that's kind of throwing me off here is the black background, because I almost feel like it's kind of taking away. So I'm wondering how this would look on like a lighter background, or even like on like a cloth or something like that. Something with a little bit of texture to help the skull stand out from the background. But shape-wise, everything's really nice. You were definitely beating me in the ZBrush race. But yeah, this is looking really, really solid. I like this a lot. The fingerprint, that kills me, man. That's good detail. This is the kind of stuff that like I strive for, is to add details like this, and I never like do enough. But that's really cool. Yeah, this is turning out really neat. Almost like a weird like You know what this reminds me of almost? What Terminator was that? Terminator. What was that one? Was it Genesis? No, Genesis was a shitty one. Dark Fate. It reminds me of the Terminator from Dark Fate. Pretty close to that one. That's what that's the vibe that's given off. Let's see. Yeah, where it is pushing it a bit too stylized with the black on black. We'll definitely look at showing it more. Yeah, I think that's the only thing. Yeah, that's my dog. She barks at everything she can. Yeah, no, I mean, I love it so far. I think, I do think just the background might be a bit too much. Even if you did like a smoky, kind of like this, like you can still show off a lot of this like shaping and stuff like that, minus the black background. But what you're doing with the texture already, I love it. That's sick. Yeah, that's a great reference. Yeah, stuff like that. Like whenever I'm working on an asset, I try to think of like stuff that was like similar to it. So, cheers to you, man. So like with my ship, I was thinking of like Star Citizen, Star Wars, stuff like that, and so I'll look at reference from those movies or show or games or whatever, and try to figure out what I can do with like a background like that, and try to put that in there. And so the tank is going to be really weird because the only reference I have is that one image. So that's going to be interesting, but that's something I'll tend to try to do, especially when you're talking about like trying to sell like some things like realism, is trying to find things that have been done that you can both work off of and then kind of twist into your own kind of crazy thing. But I dig it so far, man. It's been fun watching you work on that. All right. I think that was the last portfolio, so yeah, I think we're good. All right. What else do I want to do with this? I'm almost thinking it would be nice to have like a line through here, like a panel line. So let's do that. I'm going to cut it in though. Try to keep this uniform. It should be pretty uniform. Okay. How's school been going for you, Tamizu? Have they made you jump into the dreaded Maya yet? All right. So from here, man, streaming when you're sick really like dries you out quickly because of all the talking. All right. So what I'm trying to do is just make sure this stays in like a quadded out form. So we're gonna bridge this guy now. Bridge. Thankfully I'm still safe from Maya at the moment. I'm gonna bunch of junk in After Effects though. I told my instructor I normally use DaVinci and he was just like, oh. But the school is so tied to Adobe. Yeah, it's I don't know. After Effects is really cool, but like, ick. One of my favorite artists. What's his name? I always forget. Where am I going? Let's see. I always call him Nox because he has this one video called Rise of Nox. But yeah, this dude, James Lee, he does like animation stuff. He just switched over fully to DaVinci Resolve, and his stuff is pretty cool. So if that's the kind of stuff you're doing, he might be a cool place to look. All right. So the question is, so I'm going to smooth that. It's going to completely lose its shape. All right, so we're going to go. Nice thing is, because I'm building it this way, no. What is your preference, generalist or specialist? My preference is generalist. Although I found out the other day that that might mean coding, and so I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, I tend to try to do basically everything I can. So I tend to kind of lean more towards generalist. But I've been doing hard surface modeling for like 15 years, so it's just like permanently ingrained in me. Did that really go all the way through? It did. Trying to keep this separate. Support it and then work it back in is the motto here. I just love DaVinci for color. DaVinci is awesome. I've been using it forever. Why is my viewport shader more laggy than my render viewport? Because you do curse things in Blender. It could be because you're overloading your PC. Especially if you have a bunch of objects that are at like 300,000, polygons, you should probably look at reducing. All right, so that gave me that. That's looking pretty good. That doesn't look good though. Okay. All right, that's better. I do think this is what sucks about this, is it doesn't really let you do that. Let's see. Case. Yeah. Doesn't like that at all. Fine. I just kind of want to straighten that out a little bit, but also not cause a massive dent in my model like that. That's better. Okay. You were modeling from 15 years only as a hobby? Yeah. So I went to college and then graduated in 2015 and then decided to work on my career in IT instead of jumping into the industry. And then the 2024, I started kind of making this into like a social media thing. So see where that goes. But yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. All right, so we've got that. That's cool. So I want to terminate these now so I don't have these like running all the way through my model. The easiest way to do that is going to be, I'm going to go insert an edge loop here. We're going to split these, so... let's see. So I think what I want... I'm actually going to control delete you. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, it didn't select. Okay. Is 1.5 million faces okay? No, not at all. That's not good at all. Wanted to do something in June to mark 1 year of doing 3D, but could never think of a fitting place. You could always revisit an old project with what you've learned. Yeah, 1.5 is not okay. My entire ship had 2 mil. My last... Well, that's a city. It's a little bit different. Especially if you're... Michael, are you on a laptop? Thoughts on Blender? I have no problems with Blender. I just am not a fan of their community. But I have plenty of people who have come over who use Blender, like Timuzu, who are actually awesome people. So, personally, I have no issues with the app itself. I do think eventually, like, it's got its limitations, just like anything else. And the reality is like none of these apps all do it all. So, you know, it's just one of those things. Pick what you can, use what you can, especially if you can't afford Maya, which I totally understand. It's expensive, even if you get the indie version. But yeah, Blender's good for people who are learning, and people who can't afford it, or can't afford like Maya. And people who just want to use Blender just to use Blender. Like, it's still a good tool. Alright. So we're going to hide that little triangle there. I say hide as it stretches across my model. Actually, you know what I want to do? Let's see. Let me think about this. I could split that off. That could be something I could do. Let's try that instead. I think that might work out better for me. So this is a fun trick. Boom. Everything's a quad. I hate that that does that, so we're just gonna go blep. That's better, that refines it, cool. And that hides that loop across the model. Okay. Let's see, truth. Yep, I got a 1660 Ti. Yeah, you might be pushing that pretty far with 1.5 million. Gotta be careful on that one. Absolutely use all the tools available. We'll never understand the tribalism around software. No, absolutely not. I just don't want to learn Blender, which is why I don't use Blender. What's your plan on making a model? Is this for VFX or game out? This would be a VFX asset because this is going to be very heavily detailed. Do you have any future plans to work in the industry? Maybe. Kind of depends on how things go. Part of me really wants to, and part of me would love to get out of IT entirely. The other part of me does not want to move to California because it's California. You know, leaving aside all of the issues they're having right now with the fires, which are awful, I have never wanted to live in California. If I could ever find something that does remote work. Maybe. Or move to Canada. I can move to Canada. Is 2.5 million okay for a snowman? No. Did you, like, pull an Olaf model from Disney and then, like, crank up the subdivision on it? What are you doing? I'm up here in Northern California watching SoCal burn. Yeah, it's awful. It's really sad. I've been making sure that all my friends up there are still okay. It's really awful. Let's see. My radiator ring has 130,000 faces. Yeah, that's too much. You gotta reduce that. But the snow has built-in textures. I mean, do what you want to do, man. Multi-cut. Okay, we're going to terminate this guy under here. So if you ever wanted a really quick topology tip, there you go, right there. That's how you can split when you have two rings. You can see that terminates the entire thing, pulls it in the model, gives us the loop that we were looking for. And it's clean. And we have this nice cut now, this nice panel gap that runs through our tank and doesn't distort our topology anywhere else. Baby throwing bananas everywhere. I gotta run, catch you in Discord, no doubt. We'll see you later, Tim Mizu. Have a good one. We're actually getting close to end time here, so we'll be wrapping things up pretty quick here. Oh, I remember what I was doing. I was looking at this nightmare. So vertex, target weld to you, target weld to you. And that's where I'm confused. Because, oh, I see what happened. Okay. Yeah. I see what happened. Control delete. I see what I did wrong. Okay. Alright. Control delete, that gives us that nice kind of flatness there. Oh, I deleted the wrong one. I need that one. Right, okay. I see what I did wrong here. So that one has to remain. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, so that's not good. Okay. So that actually needs to go through the model. Wait a minute. How did that... Oh, okay. It's actually really confusing. That shouldn't be working that way. It's because I've got this box up here, so might have to fix that. Topo tip, 1.5 million. Yeah, with a 1660, no way. So that's where you want to. Yeah, that's a good point, Michael. So that's where you want to start playing with your outliner. I think Blender has one, and make sure you have all the pieces. Because like, nice thing about Maya's outliner, which, again, I think Blender has one, is I can select all of my individual pieces in here and see what they are and name them and do all that stuff. So if Blender has something like that, that'd be a good time to look at that. Okay, so, no, turn that off. Multi-cut. Okay, so that I know needs to go across. Okay, that's good. This is just kind of like re-diverting that topology. So this one is going to probably become that new one. So here's what I'm gonna do. I need that. So I need all of that to stay. we'll delete that. Select that, and then I can select through. There we go. All right. So all I did there was just kind of isolate that and then keep that in the ring. That way I can work it in later. Because now what I should be able to do is go multi-cut, drag this guy through. Yeah. So we're going to drag that through. We're going to collect this guy to there. That goes through. It stopped down here, though, I think. Yeah, it's this one right here. Or it's one of... Whoa, which one are you? Uh-oh. So it's that one. What is this one? Important, but not right now. So I'm going to get rid of it. Let's see. I'm going to do version 04. Save. Alright, guys. We are kind of at time now, so save scene. We're going to call that good for there. Alright. Instagram. Wait. Sir, please can you check my tank? It's good or bad. Please check my YouTube. Still raw Maya. Still raw. Send me a message on either Instagram or Discord and I can take a look at it off stream because I'm getting ready to head out. But alright, Instagram. Thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. It's been a wonderful week. I hope you guys have a good, safe weekend. I will be back on Monday for the same stuff. Might be working on the pistol again. Might be working on the tank again. Who knows? It depends on how addicted I am to working on this. So, with that said, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you all being here. And I will see you all on Monday. Go ahead and end the live video. There we go. All right, YouTube. Same for you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys watching on YouTube because we're still pumping up to that 4,000 hour limit. Once we get past that, I am not going to care anymore. I'm just going to keep doing YouTube to do YouTube. But I appreciate you all being here, liking the stream, and watching. It does help. So good night, YouTube. And then Twitch.